What's going on, everybody? Rob Doster here from the Field of 68. And today we're going to bring you another episode in our NBA Draft Prospect Profile series. These are going to be dropping throughout May and throughout June, a couple a day. So if you do like this content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and do hit that like button. Anything that you can do to interact with these videos, it really does help the channel. It helps more people like you find this content. And since I have you here, make sure you check out our Instagram and TikTok pages. We are going to be pumping out more unique content over there throughout the spring and the summer heading into the 2022-23 college basketball season. Like, for example, did you know that Penny Hardaway was shot when he was in college? I didn't know that. You can find that story right now live on our TikTok and Instagram pages. The links for those are in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into another Field of 68 NBA Draft Prospect Profile.
Welcome to the Field of 68 2022 NBA Draft Profiles. I'm Jeff Goodman with Stadium, here with former Clemson sharpshooter Terrence Oglesby, and we're going to break down the game of Alabama freshman JD Davison. Freak athlete. That's where you start with JD Davison, the most athletic guy in the draft this year. I don't even think you can make a case for anybody else to you.
Maybe Jaden Ivey. And I'm talking about maybe Jaden Ivey. You know, physically, his body just has the potential to put on even more weight. And on top of the fact that he's one of the most athletic 1-foot jumpers that we've had in the draft in the past 3 to 4 years. And I say that without any hesitancy. He's a guy that needs time, though, as well. Just like we're talking about a lot of other guys, his athleticism is going to get him through. His burst is going to get him through, and he's going to have some highlight reel moments as a rookie. But at the same time, his decision-making has a lot to be desired at this point. Nate Oates' system is very NBA-like in that they like to get up, make quick decisions, and you could see where he struggled a little bit. Now, having played for Nate Oates also helps him. It gives him a little bit of a learning curve because of their style of play. The fast, make quick decisions, make a quick read. He needs to shoot the ball better. I think that's one thing. The shot isn't broken, but at the same time, he's somebody that, because of that athleticism, there's so few 0.1 percenters in the world that play basketball at a high level. He is one of these 0.1 percenters, along with, in my opinion, Jaden Ivey, as these high-level athletes that are going to be able to succeed for a long time. And even when his body starts to slow down, there's one guy that I really draw a comparison to with him. And Eric Bledsoe early in his career wasn't a great shooter. He developed into a decent enough shooter to where guys had to respect him. He's so strong that he's able to guard different positions. That's something that JD Davison, as he gets older, is able to put on a little bit more weight. I think because of the way that they both play, slow, extremely fast, and they can go slow again. Once he adds that jump shot to the mix, JD Davison could be a difference maker in the NBA because of that athleticism. But still, from a skill perspective, a long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think you hit the nail on the head here. You know, Eric Bledsoe is not a bad one. But I wonder how many NBA guys are you looking at JD Davison and saying, all right, like, can he be Russell Westbrook down the road? Like, he's that athletic. He's got the burst. Russ wasn't a great shooter. Russ was obviously a better point guard. But I think a lot of people didn't know that coming out of college. I'm not saying JD Davidson's going to be Russell Westbrook. I'm saying he's got the burst and athleticism and body frame to be able to be Russell Westbrook-ish. 5-star kid coming in out of Alabama, stayed close to home. Came off the bench most of the freshman year, averaged 8.5 points a game, almost 5 rebounds, 4 assists a game, shot 30% from 3. And my big question is, again, what is he? What is he at the next level? To me, he's not a 2 because I don't think he shoots it well enough. He's not a 1 yet because of his decision-making. You don't trust him to run a team. Now, it's different in the NBA. They're not pressuring you. All you got to do is initiate offense. I think he can be that guy down the road. But there's got to be a lot of work for JD Davison to become either, and maybe both, a good, reliable shooter, perimeter shooter, and number 2, a guy that you can trust to run your team, even as a secondary ball handler.
Yeah, the only thing that makes me apprehensive is when they played Notre Dame in their last game of the season, he had 6 turnovers. Yeah. And Notre Dame's not a team that's going to get up in your crawl either. They're somebody that's going to sit back in spots, and they're going to he has to use his athleticism to power through some of these things. Now, the NBA game is much more open. That's where he's going to benefit. But decision-making is something that really stood out to me. But 4.3 assists, and they're not exactly handing out assists in college like they are in the NBA. So, I mean, for him to be able to get those numbers, he's not quite 2-to-1, but the assist to turnover is something I'm going to live with. That athleticism is just going to carry him through. And I see him as somebody who can get in the lane with consistency. You throw a ball screen up at him, and you have a slow-footed 5, he's going to be able to get wherever he wants, and he's got that athleticism to finish over the top. The problem that you're going to run into with JD Davison is they're just going to start going under screens. They're going to be double removed from some of these screens. They're going to force him to shoot the ball. And at 30%, is he going to be able to make that climb? If he's able to make that climb and to do something different, I think you're going to be able to see a remarkable improvement in somebody that could play in the NBA for a long time. If he doesn't make that step and he can't shoot the ball from 3, he's going to run into some serious issues moving forward.
It's a tough combo. You can be without a perimeter shot or be without the decision-making. When you're without both, I think you're a late first round. I think JD Davison, on one hand, should have went back to school to get better at both of those things. On the other hand, I feel like if he had gone back to school, he might have been exposed even more. And now not been I think he can maybe sneak in a late first, probably a second rounder. But again, with his explosiveness, with his athleticism, if he goes into a workout and shoots the ball well, and I don't think his shot's broke looking at his form. But again, some of these NBA guys, they might be blown away, enamored when he has a 42-inch vert. Probably that might be low.
Yeah, I'm about to say it might be higher than that.
It probably will be. It probably will be a 44-inch vert, something like that. And he makes some shots.
Yep.
Then maybe somebody takes a shot on him in the early 20s. I would feel comfortable as an NBA GM taking him in the early second. I'm not sure I'd live with myself if I took JD Davison with a guaranteed first round deal.
My only counter to that would be there's so few athletes like him.
Sure.
And a lot of NBA teams get enamored because what's the one thing that all these NBA teams think that they can coach?
Shoot it. They can get him better.
Yeah, they think they can get you better at shooting, and it has so much more to do with your hands. Now, I haven't seen JD Davison shoot it up close, so I don't really have a feel on how he catches the ball and all that stuff. If he has good hands, you're going to be able to see if he can shoot the ball well or not. If he's got hard hands, it's going to be a difficult adjustment. But that being said, because of that athleticism, like he's going to be able to put some butts in the seats on occasion because he's going to be able to rise up and find ways to utilize that. Now, is it going to be his 3-point shot's going to determine how long he's going to be able to play? Like he's got to shoot mid-30s. If he shoots mid-30s, I think any team that drafts him was willing to live with that. If he doesn't get up to that mid-30s, it's going to be hard for him to stick in the league.
You know what? He could be if he wants to be. And again, all this is predicated because of his freak athleticism is predicated on work, right? Like get your shot better with work. Now running your team, that's a little bit different. That's instincts. But defense is the other area that he could get on the floor early in his career. If he just buys into being a great defender because of his athleticism, because I think he does have good size right now, he could be a guy that, again, fills a role for a team early, and then you have to wait for him to become a pretty good shooter. Again, my biggest concern is his ability to run a team and make quality decisions at the point guard spot. I think that's probably the number one thing that I would worry about with JD Davison. But he's a guy, again, that, high risk, high reward. We'll see what happens with the Alabama freshman. Thanks for joining us again on the Field of 68 2022 NBA Draft Profiles. He's Terrence Oglesby. I'm Jeff Goodman. And make sure you subscribe. Field of 68, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. We've got all the players broken down with all of us, myself, T.O., Rob Doster, Randolph Childress, Sam Vicini. So make sure you check it out.